Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining me for Thankful Thursday. I switched it up on y'all a little bit this week. No midweek motivation, no podcast. Listen, when I say I'm being intentional with what God is asking me to do, that is just what I'm doing. I'm being intentional. I'm being intentional right now. So welcome to Thankful Thursday. Thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully everybody's been having an amazing week. I know my week has been great. I just want to get on and share a few nuggets from the week. I was telling someone earlier on today, I was like, man, this week God has just showed out in what he's shown me, started off on Saturday. I was blessed to get with some of my soror sisters and spend some time. And we had worked on vision boards. Now, you know how the spirit works. It's Saturday and we're getting together and they were talking about doing the vision boards. I was like, well, I'll go. But I don't want to do no vision board because you do them at the beginning of the year. And so I went. It was a busy day Saturday. Very, very good day. Went. And, they got them vision boards. So they said, do you want one? I said, well, do I have to do one? And they said, well, you don't have to. And I said, you here. Why not be involved? So I got my vision board out and I just began to put keywords because it wasn't about the goals. It wasn't about things that I wanted to get. It was more so about avoiding the pitfalls, putting those things directly in your face that will block your transformation. And so one of the things that has stood out to me from Saturday was just, it was a word I had found, the visionary. And I was like, I got to put that on my board. That just rang. I was like, I got a name to the things that I like to do, a visionary. Most people that know me know that I love to support others and what they've got going on and helping them to make their vision come to light. I support my husband with his business. I support my daughter with her musical career. It's all in management. And then, in my with my corporate love, I manage as well. And so it's just amazing how God will make all of the pieces come together. If anybody knows me, you know that I absolutely enjoy everything that I do. Like I enjoy my corporate love. I enjoy my entrepreneurial love. I enjoy being able to still be involved in my daughter's life, but in a different aspect, seeing her grow as an adult and being there to be able to support her. Man, it's just a beyond overwhelming feeling of just how blessed I am to be able to do all of these things. And God gives me the energy to do it. And I feel like that I could do so much more. And so it's just being purposeful with the time and the talents that he has given us. And so I said, Lord, I got to jump on today. I got to jump on. It's Thankful Thursday. I got to get this out. And so on Tuesday night, I was fortunate enough to attend a networking event in which it was just a room full of amazing, aspiring ladies in business that was just doing their thing. Now, as I was headed to this event, keep in mind, on Saturday, I was fighting when it was time to go hang with my soror sisters, making up everything like I need to take a nap. I'm tired. I worked this morning. But I went. And after I went and I was on my way home, there was this feeling of overjoy from the things that have been pouring into me. Keep in mind, the last 2 weeks, I've been being intentional with how I pour because, as I stated, when you love to motivate, but when you're pouring all the time, sometimes you get drained. And so you have to be very intentional with those things that you connect with. And so then Tuesday comes and I go to this other event, and as the event, the date arrival got closer and closer, I was like, I don't even know if I should go to that event. That probably has nothing to do with me. What if I don't get off to work until this time? It's like God just immediately checked me. You're supposed to be in the room. Every time I invite you to the room and you fight to get here, you walk away feeling so fierce. So what do you think is going to be different this time? So I'm telling you, y'all, I got off work at my appointed time and I went to the room, and I'll call it the room because I think there's information out there about it on social media, but neither here nor there. Sometimes it's not about the announcement of something. It's just about giving the testimony of what it is that really God wants to get to the bottom of. And that's just about when you've been invited to the room, when he's called you to the room and maybe you don't feel confident enough, or you're being cocky, or you feel like maybe there's nothing in the room for you. You just never know what he's planted there. And so needless needless to say, I had an amazing time. I called my husband on the way home. I'm like, my God, I'm fired up. These people just gave me so much information. I got a feeling like there is so much room for optimization in our life and the different things that we can do and, begin to channel different resources into. And I just was overwhelmed with excitement. But I still think, what if I wouldn't have went to the room? Let my fear just talk me out of it. You don't need to. That's going to be you're going to have to stop and fill up for gas. What is the rush hour traffic going to look like? Just making up every excuse possible. And God wouldn't have been pleased. And so I was glad I went. And I say all that to say, when you get called into the room, and I took a couple to make sure. I took a couple key points. You fit. That was the main thing that I walked away with last night. You fit. You were supposed to be in the room. God wouldn't have called me into the room if I wasn't supposed to be in the room. That's the enemy trying to fight you on why should you go? Because that's him keeping you right where you're at. And I don't want to stay here. You're supposed to be in the room. So when you walk in the room, walk in that room and be confident. Walk in that room and be open to new opportunities. Walk in that room and be ready for new connections and relationships. Walk in that room, with the mindset to learn something. If we didn't all heard the saying, you don't got to be the smartest room in the room. You don't know everything. I always tell people, I don't know nothing. I know a little bit and I can shed light on what I do know, but I can always stand to grow by going to sit up under some good knowledge, going to sit up under some good teachers, going to sit up under something that I know I can absorb and it'll take me further than where I'm at today. Never, ever be afraid to go into the room when you've been called. You wouldn't have been called in the room if they didn't feel like you should be there. Okay. And purpose and time. And I one of the things I've been talking about the past couple of weeks is just being intentional with my time, being intentional with the relationships, being intentional with the things that I connect with, even being intentional with my health and just monitoring what I'm eating, just being intentional about everything. And when you're being intentional and you're constantly preparing, purpose and timing will meet and then it all makes sense. I promise you. And one thing we have to realize, because, initially when I wanted to do my podcast this week, I wanted to do my podcast on centered around blueprint. And it's coming. Don't worry, it's coming. I'm still going to do it. But sometimes we have to put things on hold because there's something God's feeding our spirit now. And if you call to be a light and shed your light and help others by the things that you go through, because I'm telling y'all, the next time I get called into the room, I'm not questioning. I'm just going. Because God can show me too many times that, like when you walk away from these rooms, you're better. When you walk away from these rooms, you're more empowered. You can walk into some rooms and leave feeling real drained. But when God is calling you into the room, he's going to make sure that you're filled. And so just remember that. And so I was just determined this week. I said, look, I got to get on here and I have to share my testimony. That's the thing. So many people are afraid to share their testimony and talk about what it is that they're really going through. We all have good days. We all have bad days. I'm constantly being called into rooms, even in my corporate world. Sometimes I'm going into rooms, and that I would say that's probably one of the biggest battles I fought in the beginning, moving into leadership and being around leaders at my level and beyond, was feeling like I was confident enough to be there. And I would just always pray that prayer. Those things, Lord, that I'm not equipped with, I ask that you would equip me, because sometimes we don't know what we don't know. Sometimes you will be the one that is you are the footprint. For the foundation that's being laid. So never be afraid to just walk in that thing with confidence. And every obstacle, every mountain that God allows you to face, he'll make you stronger. So that next time you will be able to just go. May not want to, but you'll just go. And then your light that shines in you, and you being able to share your testimony, will help somebody else to go. It'll help them to go, grow. They'll be empowered. They'll be inspired. And you just never know who's watching, guys. Most people that watch me know I don't have a lot of followers. I do this from my heart. I do this because I love to do it. Whether it touch 2 people or 20, I don't care. I'm just going to do it, and I don't do it for all that. I do it because this is what I love to do. I love to help others by sharing my story. That's the story of my life. And anybody that knows me and you talk to me long enough, I'm going to share something that's going to inspire you that whatever it is you're going through, you will get through it. You have walking testimonies all around you. And so I hope everybody has a great rest of your week. It's Thursday, y'all. And so we only got one more day to go. If you're off on the weekend, you know what time it is. It is time for the disconnect. I say 48 hours to turn down and do what it is that you need to do. Not what you have to do, just what you need to do, because we all deserve a disconnect from time to time. But thank you so much for jumping on and joining me today. And hopefully I've been able to inspire you that the next time you get called into the room, you better go, because you don't know who God has there for you.